Shofar free bus.
Okay, that sounds pretty cool.
It's nice. I've seen Rabbi Dover walking through.
He lives right there.
Yeah. It's a cool spot, but the it's not. I mean, it is a restaurant and a cafe, so like sometimes I'll go and specifically have a coffee or like things like that.
Yeah.
But on Thursday nights or Friday day, like
It's a music thing.
That's the open mic is like a big aspect of it.
Right. So listen, I'm saying, are you playing there because essentially it can help you for livelihood as well, or not really?
It would be practice performance.
Practice performance. Practice performance, okay.
But can I go there and be there waiting for the practice performing?
Well, I guess that's what you're doing it for, right? You're going there to get your opportunity to grab the mic.
Yes.
But then what about everyone else? Like around the area, like in the tea shop or like,
Or also, what about after the performance?
yeah, like all the people are public. Can they be there?
Good point.
Well, and also I see so many live musicians, either like at the Shuk or in the old city.
Yeah, a lot of people are not aware of the halachos.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
A lot of people are not aware. I mean, in many different areas of halacha, people are just not aware. So.
Can I perform on the street if I'm practicing for myself, but I'm causing other people to hear loud music?
For parnasa, you can.
But I can play in the street? Is it like their problem?
Kind of. If you ask me, is it like, you know, halachically it's okay. But I mean, if you ask me, like, is it like a, you know, a tasteful thing to do? Is it like a, you know,
Like busking is parnasa.
Right. Right. I would say, like, if you have alternative ways you can do without it, I would do without it. Okay? You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah. But what about the restaurant?
If that's important for your livelihood, yeah.
Also, like keeping the community in like the sort of like that's a place where I would get other gigs or things like that.
If that's what you need to do for livelihood, then you can. Okay?
I don't.
Kelly, good morning.
Good morning.
What if I don't need to, but it helps?
No problem. Sorry?
What if I don't need to, but it
Helps. If it's helpful for livelihood, you can. If you're doing that for everyone else, you can. If you know that you can do without that for a few weeks, then go for it. I'm saying, do you understand what I'm saying? That, like, just like many other areas of halachas, it's not always black and white. Like, that's like a necessity you to make. You understand what I'm saying? If that's important for the goal you're trying to work to, and like this is really important for me, and this is good because I'm trying to get somewhere, and being not there present for a couple of weeks would be challenging for me, then it's okay. You understand? But if you're saying like, oh, come on, a couple of weeks, like I can manage that, then, you know, so that's something that only you can judge. It's a judgment call that you need to make. You understand what I'm saying?
yeah.
Okay? But obviously just going to a concert or, you know, any other place of dancing right now, this time, that's really not supposed to happen. Okay? Does that make sense?
Yeah. Well, I guess then the other thing is like the after I finish playing, is that less of a thing? Because that's not. That would be I'd be hanging out with my friends, or I'd be.
If you're literally going, if it's like just as a concert, you're trying to listen there for the music, then it will best be avoided.
But if it's in like if it's an aspect, but it's
if
not
an
like,
aspect is that you're going for a cafe, you're eating somewhere, that's a different thing.
if I'm going to hang out with my friends, but the main aspect of the reason people are there is the music, but I'm not necessarily caring about the music as much as hanging out with my friends.
That's okay.
This is Shabbat.
That's okay.
No, Omer, not
Sefirat
listening to
HaOmer.
music.
Because also not all the music is the best.
Right. I'm sure the music you play is beautiful.
Yeah, no, that's great. That's tough. Unbiased. That's tough.
Okay, great. I want to speak about some halachos of Sefirat HaOmer. Now, who is obligated to count Sefirat HaOmer?
The guys. No, guys. Only guys.
Only guys. Not the ladies are not obligated. You know why? Because it's a positive commandment which is time bound and women are exempt. Okay. However, if a woman does want to do it, she'll get a mitzvah if she does it. The other thing is that here comes in the difference between the Ashkenazi Jews and the Sephardic Jews. That the Sephardic Jews have a common custom that the ladies, if they want to do a mitzvah that is time bound, which they're exempt, as we mentioned. If they do the mitzvah anyway, they will get a mitzvah. But they can't make a blessing over that mitzvah. For example, shaking lulav. Shaking lulav, is that time bound or not, guys? Super time bound, only have to Sukkot, right? So if a woman wants to do that mitzvah, she's exempt, she doesn't have to, she's not obligated. You and I, all of us in the room, are obligated to shake a lulav. But a woman is not obligated. If she does shake it, she's done a mitzvah. Beautiful. A mitzvah min Torah, she's done. Can she make a blessing over that or not? So the Sephardi Jews will say no. A woman is unable to make a bracha over a mitzvah that is time bound. Whereas the Ashkenazi custom is that she can. Why is that? What's the whole discussion of that? It's just an interesting piece of information. It's because within our bracha goes like this. We say Baruch Atah Hashem Elokeinu Melech Haolam Asher Kiddushanu B'Mitzvosav V'Tzivanu, and in the case of lulav we say Al Natilas Lulav. Okay, or in the case of Sefirat HaOmer we say Al Sefirat HaOmer. But in the middle of our bracha we say V'Tzivanu. What does V'Tzivanu mean?
They've commanded us.
Yeah. So we're basically saying in our blessing, Hashem, you commanded us to do this mitzvah. And the Sephardi halachic authorities say that how can a woman say that she was commanded to do that mitzvah if she's in theory exempt?
Could you say like the first bracha time?
And so you can't make up your own bracha, that's the thing.
You can't say Elokeinu Melech Haolam.
No.
Okay.
So therefore, the Sephardi custom is that ladies do not make a bracha over that. However, the Ashkenazi custom is that ladies typically can make a bracha over it because when it says V'tzivanu, we were commanded. That is not referring specifically to this mitzvah only. It's referring to all the mitzvahs in the Torah. We were Hashem who commanded us to do all the mitzvahs. So it's a general application to all mitzvahs.
V'tzivanu al mitzvah who commanded us.
V'tzivanu
on
al mitzvahs. Yeah, that's what the Sephardim imply in, and it's makes it maybe sound a little bit easier to understand. But the Ashkenazim say V'tzivanu al Sefiras who commanded us to do Sefiras HaOmer. Yeah, I hear that.
Like it's in there.
It's in there. In any case, so the Ashkenazi custom is that ladies do make a bracha. It's funny actually because my wife, my in-laws, they're Sephardi. So, my father-in-law's father was from Baghdad.
Where is that?
Baghdad. Baghdad. In any case, so my wife, if she would shake lulav before we got married, she would never make a bracha on that because she's Sephardi custom. But after she got married to me, so she accepted my customs, the super Ashkenazi, and she makes a bracha not making lulav. So that's how it comes out.
Can you adopt the wife's customs?
I mean, a person can change customs, but that's not typically done.
What if it's like just kidding?
Yeah. Yeah.
I was in a seminary yesterday, and one of the students, who is super Ashkenazi, told me, "Oh, Rabbi, I was Sephardi over Pesach." It's like, okay, what do you mean that? I ate kidneys. I just became Sephardi over Pesach. I said, "Are you still Sephardi?" No, not anymore. I'm Ashkenazi. Right. In any case,
I don't like that.
right.
If you eat kidney for more than like 3 years, does that count as your new custom?
You can't just become. You have to become. It's not just kidneys. You actually got to become Sephardi. It comes with the full package deal. Do you understand what I'm saying? So you may want to consider that.
I can do it.
Alright, what it is?
I think there was plenty of food around with that on Pesach without.
Yeah, there
without
was so
kidneys.
much.
There
There's an
was.
abundance of food. Serious, a chef out of food. You have no idea. Seriously, I did not go hungry. None of my family members went hungry. But
I agree.
you missed your rice and your bamba.
Yeah, well, like walking
Eat
down
a
Yafo and every restaurant's open.
That was
I hear
like,
that. They were all kidneys.
Almost all.
yeah.
There was a couple of shawarma places that had the matzah, not kidneys.
Yeah, it's in the river.
Yeah, but it tasted like they kept it from last year.
Okay,
It was-
I hear that.
Yeah.
I don't know. Pesach food is Pesach food. Don't try and imitate things.
That's
Although on Pesach I had the most delicious kosher for Passover pancakes. Can you imagine that?
Really?
Kosher for Passover pancakes
I was really upset.
made out of almond flour.
What's the
It costs
company?
about 40 shekel for a tiny packet. But I'm saying, what
What was the company?
of the?
It's good pancakes. Like, can you just get them your own?
Oh no, my wife made those.
Oh, really?
Homemade.
Wow.
Just I'm saying, homemade pancakes on Pesach for breakfast.
And all nuts you guys can have? All peanuts also?
No
The
peanuts.
peanuts are like
peanuts not,
legumes.
but we can have walnuts. We can have
Why
almonds.
not peanuts?
Legumes.
Yeah,
They're
legumes.
adamant. Rest
I-
of peanut.
I was really
Rest
upset.
nuts are eights.
My
Is it the same as like?
Peanuts don't grow on trees?
you grow in a bush.
It's considered like a banana
It's a legume.
and a legume.
Do you know that some people make hot eats on a bar of chocolate? Have you heard of that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Rabbi, what she was talking about?
Who?
Yeah, right.
Rosh Hashiva.
Yeah.
He was talking about that and
Oil.
grapes. Huh?
Huh?
Oil and grapes.
Yeah.
Really?
Because
Yeah.
one thing
The
that you don't make
natural
share
state.
coal, there's two drinks that you don't make share coal on.
Right.
And it's olive oil, if you drink olive oil,
Right.
and
Wine.
wine, yeah.
Yeah.
Because that's the natural state that you
Of
make.
chocolate, because you don't make anything else out of cocoa beans. You only make chocolate.
Wow.
It's fascinating.
My friend got.
But we don't do the common custom is, by the way, not to do that. Most people do make chocolate or chocolate bar. But it's
Yeah.
strange. It should really be halachot.
They got a sushi place on Pesach, and so I got edamame thinking that I go, that's fine. And as soon as it got there, I looked it up and I was kidding. And I was very upset. And that doesn't make sense to me.
You got a what?
Edamame.
Mommy.
Edamame, the green bean.
Oh yeah.
Those are kidney.
But they're
Why are they kidney?
You have to know exactly what was included in kidney. It's a lot of things. There's a question if quinoa is kidneys.
It's not.
There's a discussion about it. Check out the OU website and KLBD, the London-based deal.
Why is this an issue? And it's an avera if you eat it?
It's a rabbinical ban that was never accepted by the Sephardim, only by the Ashkenazi.
What?
There was actually speak about having coffee beans also included in that. I'm so glad that did not happen. You can take away all my comments if you want. You can take away anything you want, but I need my cup of coffee.
But why? But so then why are they picking and choosing?
There are reasons for that. If you want, you can just look it up, or if you want, I can find it for you. But I'm saying there's very clear reasons why certain things were included, why certain things were not included.
And why are they still included?
The reason of kidneys is because people confuse it with chametz.
But edamame.
There's green things,
Yeah.
beans in there.
The legumes.
The things they have here.
Where here?
Sometimes they'll serve them during like the Asian lunch.
Yeah. That's
Asian lunch.
Yeah.
Okay, I haven't eaten for lunch. Okay.
I don't know, you know what edamame, right?
Yes. Interesting. Very, very interesting. Very interesting. Okay, I guess we can figure that out. Okay, it sounds like you guys had a good time over Pesach, at least with the kidneys and everything else. Okay, beautiful. Great. Amazing. Very important. How do we count Omer, by the way? We do this normally at night. At night is the only time you can make a blessing over this. Okay? Meaning, you can also count today. Last night we counted 2 weeks. 14 days, which is 2 weeks. That's what we counted last night. If you forgot last night, for example, to count, you can count today. You have to count today without a blessing. Okay? That's how it works.
what? I thought you could do today with the blessing.
During the day, you can't do the blessing.
If you do today without a blessing, you can do tonight.
You can do tonight without, exactly.
You can say
It's classified as counting. Okay? Meaning, if the only time, counting can happen any day, any time of day, at night or during the day, right? Because last night,
Yeah.
we had day 14 starting, and we're still right now going in day 14 because the Jewish calendar day obviously starts at night, just like Friday night Shabbat starts Friday night. Great. Now, however, this specific halacha of being able to make a blessing over the counting, meaning Sefirat HaOmer has two parts to it. Number one, the bracha, Asher Kiddushan, Sefirat HaOmer. That's part one. Part two is Hayoim Arba Asar Yoim Shehem Shnei Shavuos LaOmer.
Can you say that in English? Does that count?
Yeah.
You say the Hebrew bracha and then say
You can do that.
English?
Yeah, you can do that. So that, the first part of speaking the secret bracha, that is only something you can do at night, not during the day. But if you said it during the day without a blessing, the following night you can still count the bracha. It's considered as if you have counted.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
But that really leads me to the next point, and that is that what happens if you forget to count?
You can continue counting without a blessing. Because
You broke the chain.
Yeah, but what does that really mean? I just wanted to give a little bit of a deeper analysis over here.
you
In
didn't get
fact-
to count the full thing. You weren't paying full attention, so the bracha is a continuous bracha. Like the bracha that you say is like, it's dependent on you counting continuously. If you're not counting the whole thing, you're not as focused on it.
I'll tell you a little bit more. So this goes back to an ancient debate between Tosfos and the Bahag, two early commentators. Tosfos says, if you forget to count one day, that means you didn't count that whole day, not at night, not during the day. So the following night, you can't count anymore. No more counting. So the Bahag said, what do you mean? I don't get it. If you didn't count last night and today, just count tonight. It's just a new mitzvah. Tonight's a new mitzvah. The fact that you didn't do yesterday's mitzvah, you do tonight another mitzvah. So how do we explain this debate? What is the underlying discussion between this and Bahag? All 49 days of the Omer that we have,
It's one mitzvah.
are they considered 49 elements of one mitzvah? Or are they considered 49 individual mitzvahs?
Well,
So the Bahag understands there are 49 individual mitzvahs, and therefore if you didn't count last night and today, who cares? You have another mitzvah tonight. Just because you didn't do a mitzvah yesterday, why shouldn't you do another mitzvah tonight? You can count tonight, no problem. However, Tosfos understands differently. That 49 days of counting are 49 elements of one big mitzvah.
So then why do you say multiple brachas? Shouldn't you say one bracha in day one?
Yeah.
Every day is considered as part of the mitzvah. You can make a bracha on part of the mitzvah. But as long as it can lead up to a whole mitzvah. So once you came to a stage and you finished one day, you skipped the whole entire day, at that point you can't come anymore to finishing off the mitzvah, and therefore you can't make a bracha.
Does that same logic apply to, like, let's say the lighting of the Hanukkah candles? Is that one mitzvah with different parts, or is each time you light the candle a
Now,
different?
each time, that's a great question, but it's each time you light a candle, it's a different night. It's a different mitzvah. Therefore, if in theory a person forgot to light the candle, they can still do it the next night. Okay, guys?
What
Yes.
if there's a suffix if you've counted or not?
Okay, so this I want to speak out next time because it's really complicated. If you suffix, it becomes a double tat, it's called a spake according to halacha, and then you can keep on counting.
You can keep on.
Yes. If you're not sure if you counted, you can keep on counting. Okay? Guys, okay, let's leave it here for today, and I want to wish you guys on that note a wonderful Shabbos.
But you're not supposed to